At the University of Michigan, we continue our tradition of celebrating excellence with our Spring 2024 honorary degrees. Originating from nominations by the community, the regents of the university confer honorary degrees upon those who embody the values and mission of the university, the transformative nature of our education, and the diversity of our community. Recipients serve the greater good of society with distinction and inspire the next generation of graduates. They truly represent the leaders and best. Neurosurgeon Alexa Kennedy is a leader in advancing neurological research and providing equitable health care. Dr. Kennedy earned her bachelor's and master's degrees from the University of Michigan, interned at Yale University, and completed her residency at the University of Minnesota. She centered her training on pediatric neurosurgery and became the nation's first African-American woman to be board certified in neurosurgery. She spent the majority of her career at the Children's Hospital of Michigan in Detroit, serving as chief of pediatric surgery and eventually chairwoman of the hospital's board of trustees. Her patients were children, usually under the age of 10, who had life-threatening illnesses, head trauma, gunshot wounds, hydrocephalus, and other brain injuries and diseases. Along with two other physicians, she holds the patent for the invention of a programmable anti-siphon shunt to treat hydrocephalus. While practicing neurosurgery, she served as a professor at Wayne State University's medical school and became vice chair of its neurosurgery department. Throughout her career, she practiced patient-centered care and promoted equitable healthcare access in the face of racial disparities and childhood poverty. She enlisted charities and organized fundraisers to raise money for families without the means to pay for their children's care. A neurosurgeon of the highest order, she overcame gender and racial barriers in a male-dominated medical field and carved a path for herself and for countless other men and women of color. With deep admiration for her expert care of children and her singular efforts to open wide the doors of medicine, the University of Michigan is proud to present her with the honorary degree, Doctor of Science. Judith and Stanley Frankle are philanthropists of the highest order. For the past 30 years, they have seeded innovation and offered institutional leadership for the benefit of the University of Michigan, its students and scholars, and for the greater community. Mr. Frankle earned his bachelor's and master's degree at U of M, and Mrs. Frankle attended U of M before completing her undergraduate education at Wayne State University. Mr. Frankle leads a privately held commercial real estate development and management company, and Mrs. Frankle is a small business owner and entrepreneur. Their complementary professional expertise informs their charitable giving, and their support of the University of Michigan has touched all corners of the institution. Since 1995, they have sponsored the Global Projects course at the Ross School of Business, through which 1,500 students have tackled projects for companies around the world. They made possible the renovation and expansion of U of M's Detroit Observatory, transforming it into a universally accessible teaching center for future scientists, scholars, and citizens. Their funding of the Samuel and Jean Frankle Cardiovascular Center, named for Mr. Frankle's parents, has supported landmark medical studies and innovative approaches that have helped to save lives. Their generosity also created the Stanley and Judith Frankle Institute for Heart and Brain Health, which is dedicated to discovering the root causes for heart and brain disease and to developing new treatments. Their roles at this institution have not ended there, with support extending to the College of Literature, Science, and the Arts, the School of Music, Theater, and Dance, the Life Sciences Institute, the Jean and Samuel Frankle Center for Judaic Studies, and to Michigan Hillel, a student support organization. The Frankles have transformed student experiences, accelerated medical research, and created far-reaching, enduring opportunities across the University of Michigan. For their unwavering commitment to educational excellence, the University of Michigan is proud to present them both with the honorary degree Doctor of Laws. Pulitzer Prize-winning writer and fashion editor Robin D. Davon has written commentary on American politics, race, business, and the arts. A native of Detroit, she earned her bachelor's degree at Princeton and her master's at U of M before beginning her career at the Detroit Free Press as a music and nightlife reporter. Her reporting there expanded to include fashion, and since then, her work in fashion criticism has been a defining element of her career. She is senior critic at large for The Washington Post, where she has spent the majority of her career. And her work has also appeared in publications such as Harper's Bazaar, Vogue, Essence, New York Magazine, and The New Yorker. In 2006, she became the first fashion critic to win a Pulitzer Prize, receiving praise for work that has turned fashion criticism into cultural commentary. She has contributed to several books, and in 2015 released her first solo book, The Battle of Versailles, the night American fashion stumbled into the spotlight and made history, which is a cultural history of the 1973 Franco-American fashion design competition that elevated the trajectory of American fashion designers and models. With integrity, grace, and unyielding observation, Robin D. Davon has redefined fashion as a fundamental communication tool and reliable entry point for discerning identity and values, particularly for elected officials and other leaders. Her readers recognize her as a truth teller and passionate advocate for inclusivity in all facets of industry and daily life. In recognition of her award-winning career, the University of Michigan is proud to present her with the honorary degree, Doctor of Laws. Award-winning author Brad Meltzer is a best-selling author across 5 genres and a lifelong champion for the teaching of history. He believes American history is shaped by ordinary people doing extraordinary things, and he has devoted his life to telling their stories. His 13 novels, historically informed legal and political thrillers, have all been bestsellers. His comic book, Justice League of America, won the Will Eisner Comic Industry Award. He has written 38 children's books, including 33 in his acclaimed kids' book series, Ordinary People Change the World. Each book introduces children to a real-life hero and explores the hurdles they faced, including issues of identity and culture not often found in children's literature. With more than 7 million copies in print, it's considered a staple for teaching history to this young age group, and was adapted into a 4-time Emmy Award-nominated TV program, Xavier Riddle and the Secret Museum. On his History Channel show, Lost History, he tracked down lost artifacts of American history, including the missing 9/11 flag raised by firefighters at Ground Zero. His charitable and volunteer activities extend his passion for the teaching of history. He is a board member of the National Archives Foundation and National Medal of Honor Museum Foundation, an ambassador for the Women's Suffrage National Monument Foundation, and with his wife, the co-founder of City Year Miami, a branch of the National Leadership Organization, which helps to fund full-time mentors in Miami's high-need schools. For his authorship, activism, and championing of American history, the University of Michigan is proud to present him with the honorary degree, Doctor of Laws. The University of Michigan salutes our 2024 Spring Commencement honorary degree recipients. We applaud and honor them as outstanding role models for our graduates.